thanks for joining me today. I'm going to be showing you how I color an insect or insect wings, in this case a bee. I'm working in Fairy Miracles, and I've just done this picture which I did from a color along on YouTube, and I'm doing the bee and the wings in my own way. I have watched many YouTube videos on coloring insects and wings, so I've been influenced by all of them. I've done this one to try out what I'm doing. I don't know if you can see, there's just a little bit of glitter, but I'm going to zoom in and I'll do this main bee and see how long that takes, and if it doesn't take too long then I'll do the other one as well. So just let me zoom in. I've colored most of this picture using Prismacolor pencils, but I'm going to be using Polychromos for the bee. So I'm going to start, well, I'm not using all Polychromos, I'm using Polychromos and some Caran d'Ache Luminance and one clear jelly roll, clear glitter. So I'm going to start with the palest color, which is light yellow glaze, number 104. And I'm coloring lightly, and I'm going to leave a little bit of white in the middle. And the reason I'm doing this is that I posted a question on my community tab asking for criticisms of the channel, not criticisms, maybe suggestions, and I've only had one response from somebody who said that she feels that I don't do enough regarding coloring. So just a reply to that, I specifically named my channel Liz at Home to cover more than just coloring, because I do coloring and watercolor and things like that. So it's not just coloring, but I know that the majority of the people watching, just to interrupt myself, I'm now doing light chrome yellow, which is number 106, and not going as far in with this one. I know that the majority of you guys that are supporting my channel are doing so because you enjoy the coloring. So I know I also have a certain following that likes the watercolor. So I find it quite difficult to decide what to do and how to do it, and it kind of leaves me in a bit of a quandary. But I'll just try and put more of the coloring in. And this lady said she'd like more of how I do various objects, so I'm going to do a little series on how I color this, that and the other. Now this is dark cadmium yellow, it's number 108. I want this to be more in at the top of the bee there. He's quite a cuddly looking bee, pet bee without a sting. And then I'm using this color called, I think it's called Bistre, B-I-S-T-R-E, and it's number 179. And I'm just using this at the edge to, it's a nice kind of a yellowy brown. The person I followed to do this color along was Julie's Passion for Coloring, and she does color the bee, but she does it differently. I decided to do it my way. So now with this Bistre, I'm also going to lightly colour, I want to call them the arms, the legs, I suppose, of the bee. These look like little chameleon hands. They're very cute. I don't see back legs. And then I'm also going to lightly colour the darker stripe of the bee. And then I'm going to use a sort of a shadow colour, and for that I've chosen, for no other reason other than I felt like using my beautiful luminance pencils, I've chosen this colour number 129, which is violet brown, and I'm just using it as a shadow right on the very inside there, which gives a bit of 3D depth to this little bee. And then also on the inside here. And on the brown layer. And again on this layer. And then around the edge of the arm, just giving some shape. There we are. And now I'm going to go backwards and do, not backwards, but reversing the order of what I did. So many, many layers. And I don't often colour like this. I colour like this when I'm doing a picture in one of these kinds of books that I kind of treasure so much. This particular book was gifted to me by, she's a lady on Instagram, you see a lot of her. She goes under the handle of Northern Girl, Heather Wilson, and she gifted it to me years ago, and I was so grateful. So that's this bistre again. Now we're going back to the yellow, so the dark cadmium yellow. And I'm going from the darkest in, which kind of pulls the colors together. And of course, you know, in a book like this, you can do this kind of thing because you've got the wonderful paper to work with. So I'm even going over the brown layer in this yellow. I'm not going to go over the brown layer in the other yellows, but I love yellow, and I think I'm going to go over his little legs because I find just adding a touch of yellow, I don't know, it brings some life to it. So now over the yellow layers, again, this is the second lightest, light chrome yellow. Going in there. I'm not doing the whole thing with that. Not doing the brown layer. And then the very light, the lemon glaze, light yellow glaze. Lemon glaze makes me think of lemon drizzle cake. Oh, I shouldn't have really coloured that, gone over the white in the middle. I'm going to just use an eraser and see if I can get rid of that. Make sure my eraser is clean. There we are, that just gives a little bit of a highlight there. And now with the brown layer, I'm going to use, again, you could use Polychromos easily, matching sorts of colors. This is a dark brown, and it's called Castle Earth, I think. It's 048, and I'm going to give some of the little arm a bit more depth of color, and the brown layer, so that we have the kind of stripy bee look. It's also the dark brown. There we are, and there's our bee body. And now we're going to do the bee wings, and I'm using, and this I've seen also on a number of channels where they suggest you use pastel pencils. People often suggest the Holbein pastels, and I'm using something readily available in South Africa, which I don't think is so much in the rest of the world. The Kores, or the Kores, K-O-R-E-S. And I'm just going to, I want to leave some white, and I'm just going to color in little bits here and there. And I'm not really doing specific, you can see the wing is divided into spaces, but I'm just treating the wing as a whole. So use that one, and now the blue. These Kores, I know I've mentioned them before, are such nice pencils to use. They really are. If you're a South African watching this, I bought them on Take-A-Lot, so, and they were inexpensive. It's a pastel set. I think it was 24 pencils. A bit of the green. So tomorrow is Grandchildren Day again, so I fetch my grandsons, two of my grandsons from school, and I really look forward to that. Love having them with me, and yesterday I had my other two grandsons visiting. The one I teach him singing, and he sang in the Stedford. He's coming tomorrow morning for another lesson with me, and I love having him. And the oldest one is growing into such a teenager now, and he's nearly, I think he is as tall as I am. I shouldn't have gone over the purple with the yellow. So there, I've done them all, and then I'm going to use a Derwent Lightfast Oyster color, just for the joy of using my pencils, to go over all of these, kind of, oops, broke it, I'm using too heavy a pressure, kind of almost burnishing. I suppose not almost burnishing, I am burnishing. And then I'm using, this is the Jelly Roll, and it's just clear. It's got an XPGB number 700 Sakura. I think that's what the number is. I hope. I'm not actually sure how you tell one Jelly Roll apart from the other. If you happen to know, please let me know in the comments. Well, unfortunately, as often seems to happen, my battery ran out and I didn't realize it wasn't recording the last little bit, but all I did was go around the edges of the wings, and I'm not sure if you can see that they're shining a little bit. There you can see a bit there. And now I'm going to go over the whole wing. I'm going to paint, because that wasn't enough shine for my liking, so I'm going to paint this extreme glitter. It's Folk Art Extreme Glitter Hologram, which I bought on Amazon, and I will put the link to that if you're looking for a nice shiny all-purpose paint. It's quite a large one. I've got 236 mils, 8 fluid ounces, and you use like a drop. So I'm just putting that little bit on my palette, and I'm using a small brush, and I'm going to just go over everything with that. I'm going to try to, I think that the shiny jelly roll will probably shine through this, and I hope so anyway. That's my general plan. And it will give the fairy wings, fairy lings, what's the matter with me? I can't speak. It will give the fairy wings the nice, shiny, fairy tale kind of look that I'm looking for. So now we'll leave that to dry, and I'll show it to you once it's dry. And I also made his eyelids glittery. I'm not sure if that was a good idea or not, but I felt like doing it because I was feeling that way. I'd done that one glittery as well, and this little one up here in the window. And I'm just going to put the paint on his wings as well, and then I'll finish the last bee, and hopefully at the end of August I'll have my completed pages for July and August, because I'm colouring more again now that I've got over my deep dark space. There we are. I've zoomed out and the page is nearly finished, so you'll see it completed in my finished colouring pages when I get there, and meantime you can see the nice shiny wings. I hope you can see the shine. I'm going to try the light. It's so difficult to get you to see the shine. So I'm hoping that it's picking that up for you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like more of this type of content, please let me know in the comments. My plan was to do a colouring in water in my next video, how I colour water, or some ideas for colouring water. I'm not an expert at colouring, so I just share my ideas and things I've learnt over the years of colouring, and I love to hear from all of you. So thank you for watching, and bye-bye. Until next time, have a colourful week.